Hi everybody, welcome to the Midnight Willow. My name is Sarah and today we will be traveling from the northern part of the Cape Hatteras National Seashore, taking a nice day trip down to the Cape Hatteras Light Station in Buxton. It's about half of the Cape Hatteras National Seashore, and our first stop is going to be at the Body Island Lighthouse, the first of 3 lighthouses along the Cape Hatteras National Seashore. We will not make it to the last one, which is Ocracoke, but here is the Body Island Lighthouse. So if you're like me and you love the National Park Service Passport Program, where you go around and collect all your stamps, this is where you can get your first of 3 for the Cape Hatteras National Seashore. Each lighthouse has its own National Park stamp, so save room if you can, and make sure you get those stamps. The first one will be here for the Body Island Lighthouse, and the other 2 will be at the Cape Hatteras Light Station, where you can get both the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse and the Ocracoke. And off we go to our next stop. We will be heading over the Oregon Inlet Bridge and onto Hatteras Island. And the first stop on Hatteras Island is going to be the Pea Island National Wildlife Refuge. If you are a bird enthusiast, this is the stop for you. This place is teeming with birds year-round. You'll be able to find something, see something between the egrets and the gray herons. Or also, if you come into the winter, for some of the best times for the birding to come is because of migrations coming south. This area will be covered in white with the swans and the snow geese. So if you love birds, this is a stop for you. We are about to head over the latest bridge that has been a amazingly welcomed sight for Hatteras Island locals, the Jug Handle Bridge, which has kept our island accessible when many times it would have been closed down. And now we have come to our third stop along the way. This is the Chickamaucomico Life-Saving Station in Rodanthe. The Chickamaucomico Life-Saving Station is a museum that is in the old life-saving station area, buildings and all. This place honors the men of old who would patrol our beaches, go out in the absolute worst of storms, and save the survivors of shipwrecks that happened out here in the graveyard of Atlantic. They would go out in horrible storms, paddling wooden boats through the waves. They're just amazing men, and this is a place to honor them. If you are a history buff, I would recommend coming here and seeing this place. There is also a museum down at the Cape Hatteras Light Station that honors them as well and tells some of their story. And here we go to our next stop, which is going to be a little bit of a travel. So we have just time warped through Rodanthe Wave Salvo and have passed through Avon and are now entering the Hull Over. This area is a kite surfer's paradise, and starting in the spring it will be lit up with all sorts of colors across the sound as they race around and do their jumps and stuff. So if you are a sports lover, then this is the place for you. You can also just walk right over Highway 12, carefully please, and you'll be at the ocean for some sunbathing and some swimming. Cape Hatteras Light Station. The Cape Hatteras Lighthouse is the tallest traditionally built lighthouse in both North and South America. It stands at 208 feet tall, which is 63 meters. And as you can see right now, it is going under some major renovation. The whole area is being renovated. New pathways all the way around. But most importantly, the lighthouse itself is getting some much needed love. This is the first time since it was originally painted that it has been fully stripped of all of its paint. So it's really a historic moment too, because you can actually see the brick that has not been exposed since originally painted. They are going to be doing some window work, iron work, and what is going to be absolutely wonderful is they are doing a remake of the first order of Fresnel lens that used to be in the top of this. So it will once again have a replication of its original lens. I'll give you a few historical tidbits as we walk down the path here that leads behind the park store and to the other side of the lighthouse area, and it leads also to the principal keeper's quarters and the double keeper's quarters. Interesting enough, this lighthouse is not the first lighthouse built here. The original lighthouse was built in 1803. It stood 90 feet tall and was sandstone color, and the light was powered by whale oil, which did not make it. Those three combinations did not make it very effective to warn the ships out at sea. So in 1853, they added 60 feet to that lighthouse. They painted it red and white and gave it a first order Fresnel lens. However, it just still, with the graveyard of the Atlantic, it was not enough. So they built us the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse that you see here today. And in 1999, due to it being threatened by the ocean, it was moved 2,900 feet from its original location to where you see it at now. Where we're coming up on to the right here is the principal keeper's quarters. This one is not open to the public. That's the Park Service offices. This field used to be covered in grass. However, with the restoration project going on, they replaced it with natural grasses to this area. And now we're coming up on the double keeper's quarters, which is open to the public because it is where the museum is at. I highly recommend coming in and seeing that, getting the history of this area and some more information on our old life-saving stations and all. So definitely take a moment to walk back here and visit the museum. Folks, I'll see you later. This comes to the end of our day trip to the northern half of the Cape Hatteras National Seashore. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.